Welcome. We are going to go over common issues with creating pivot tables. Now, pivot tables sometimes involve using the data and power pivot feature in Excel. We're going to go over those and discover what issues that we commonly find. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe and like. And we were going to cover cradle to grave problems, everything from missing data to removing duplicates to changing column headers and understanding ETL. This is the first problem that we often encounter when using a data model, which is using two worksheets, namely one and two. So we're using two worksheets in a pivot table. That's accomplished by using a data model. You'll notice I was able to get the sum of the last price for Apple on day one, and on day two, it didn't give me the sum of the price of Apple. It gave me the sum of the entire worksheet. So you go over to your active tables and you understand that a relationship was created between the symbols column in table 2 and the symbols column in table 3. So we chose symbol, last price in table 2, that's day 1, and last price on day 2. Didn't work. I'm going to now show you that if you choose the symbol and last price in table 3 and then the last price in table 2, you don't have any problems. And that's based on how you set up your relationship in the first place. You chose table 3 first, not table 2. For whatever reason, that happens to me all the time. When adding data to the data model, one will notice that the symbol last price changed. The headers are showing up under a new column header. In order to address that, we need to hit transform data. When we hit transform data, we look at the transform section, select use first row as headers. The problem goes away. Close and load it. To recap, what we did is we went to the data tab. We said get data from a file. Select whatever file you're looking for. Let's just randomly say we're adding this one. The ETL Power Pivot module will allow you to make sure the data looks all right. In this case, it looks all right. In the previous case, the symbol last price change was replaced by column 1, column 2, column 3. To recap, when you transform the data, it lets you say use first row as headers. To recap, close and load, and you've added yet another worksheet to it. I'm going to delete it because I'm not looking at that worksheet today. Now that I have data for two separate dates, August 14th, and I've got July 31st, I want to see the data in a pivot table. I'm going to minimize the screen so you can see it a little better. I'm inserting a pivot table. I'm adding it to the data model, which means I'm looking at two worksheets in one pivot table. Ordinarily, pivot table is done from one worksheet. Adding a data model allows you to bring in data from a separate worksheet without cutting and pasting. We've done a video on this in the past. I'll click the link to it below. Click the like, subscribe, Introduction to Pivot Tables, Power Pivot, Extract, Transform, and Load with Exeter Analytics. I'm Ed. Thank you for watching. I've got a data model with two tables. I'm looking at the symbol and the last price. Right off the bat, the price is appearing in the row, not column. That's an issue because I am looking obviously to look at the sum, and the sum is considered a calculated value. It is not considered a row or column. And as you can see, I am showing the last price in a row, and it's not appearing here because it doesn't understand summarize this field because of a calculation and Dex data type. So I have to go and I have to look at that worksheet Wednesday, and I have to look at the column, the last price column. I have to look for empty values like this one. I save the data. I will go to the data tab, hit refresh all, and I'm going to the pivot table. I'm unclicking it, clicking it again. I'm putting last price in the values. I'm now changing the value, the calculated value, from count to sum. Not supported for text data types. Wednesday, July 31st, last price. So I go to Wednesday. It looks like I missed one. Didn't I? Didn't we just come in here and type 0? Didn't we type save? Didn't we type professional? You can go back to the video. It's odd. It's odd that it's doing this. And what we're going to do is hit enter. Go to the pivot table. Select last price. And for getting this error, it's evidently telling us that it's not only a missing value, but we actually should change the values to number. And in order to change the values to number, we're going to change the data from a table, and then we're going to say, whatever reason this was not successfully reading as a number, probably because there's a $sign at the beginning of it, converting to number. Okay, and we'll go ahead and insert table because it's got to be in a table again. Pivot tables work on tables. I should be able to sort largest to smallest, so that means the problem inevitably was fixed. I had refreshed before. I'm refreshing again. I'm going to select last price. That has worked. And we said we wanted to do a side-by-side comparison, which is to say we wanted to look at August 14th side by side. So I'm going to go to August 14th, select the last price. It came up as a count. That means on August 14th, I had a similar problem with the data. I double check if that's the case. I will go to the table design view, convert to range, and examine the issue. In this case, there are no issues. It was just missing a 0. I'll go to the pivot table to see if I was correct. The last price showed up in the column. It showed up as a count. I'm going to change it to sum. It's not supported for Dax, those data types. We're pretty sure that we changed it. We're over here. We're going to go ahead and what we forgot to do is put it back into a table, otherwise it don't go into the model. Hit save. Okay, this is called table 6 now because of how Power Pivot remembers everything asked backwards. All right, so I'm on the table. So I'm on table 4. I was selecting last price. Okay, and this is the beauty of ETL. It takes a while to get. Okay. Okay, so we know something's right. We got to detect a relationship, manage relationships, create a new relationship, select table 6, which is the one we're working on. I remember that one. And then July 31st, I remember that one. And now that we created a relationship, we'll run into that duplicates error that we talked about. So let's go fix that. Table design view, remove duplicates. I want to remove duplicates from a column called symbol. 2 were found. And I want to remove duplicates from the symbols column in the other table. 2 were found. Go back to my pivot table. Go back to my pivot table. Make sure that that relationship is doable again. So I go new, and then I'm choosing table 6, choosing symbol, and then without a relationship, or we don't have a clue, pivot table, whatever, it won't work unless you create a relationship. Duplicate values, table 6, July 31st. Let's go back to July 31st. July 31st, correct? They're actually calling it table 5. All right. So it's table 5 that I need the last price on. Okay, create the relationship. Table 5. Symbol. ETL takes a lot of patience. I'm showing you the ins and outs of the issues. Duplicate values. Okay. Table 5. We remove duplicates. That should be fine. Okay. And it's table 5 and I was calling it. Okay, so I need table 5 and 6. And as you can see, I had, selected 5 and 6, or so I thought. I may have done it incorrectly. Table 5, table 6, symbol, duplicate value. Table 5 and table 6. How's that possible? I think we talked about refreshing data, correct? All right, table 5, remove duplicate. It's called table 5 because it says so in the design view. August 16th, table 6. So let's go to refresh data. Refresh all. This is important to remember. Without refreshing things, Might not always work. So get rid of that. Adding it again. Auto detect. Manage relationships. 5 and 6. All right. Let's delete what we had in there. Going back to 5 and 6. Okay. New relationship. Table 5 and 6. Voila, this time it worked. We go over here, we go to refresh the connection. And as we said before, working with table 5 and 6 where the relationships exist. Okay. 5 and 6 where the relationships exist. Table 5 is chosen. Table 6 is chosen. And sums work. So again, I must have created a relationship from table 6 to table 5. And that should fix it.